just because I feel like, I can catch shots and this and that. I just felt like I was on the ropes too much. I had started just chilling on the ropes too much, bouncing off of them and stuff.
Frank Martin took his knockout defeat to Gervonta "Tank" Davis last week well. During the post-fight interview, he shared the mistakes he made and also talked about Tank's superior skills.
He could take a punch, he can give a punch too. So it's just being woke. With him, you got to be woke in there. I've been saying that like the whole time leading up to this fight. You got to be woke, and I got.
Frank Martin has a lot to learn after his loss to Tank, and he voiced that during an interview after the fight. He also talked about future fights.
Could have did better, where I can grow from my mistakes I made, the things I did good, and just grow, man. I don't really got a fighter in mind as of right now or nothing like that,
Frank Martin seems confident about making a comeback. So, is a rematch with Tank on the cards? Let's find out in this video. Gervonta "Tank" Davis has been in the spotlight after his knockout victory over Frank Martin. Tank put up a dominating performance in the later rounds, which eventually led to Martin getting dropped by him in the 8th round. While Tank does deserve praise for his victory, Martin too deserves credit for putting up a solid fight. It's also clear that Martin has a lot to learn before he fights another top contender in the lightweight division. Frank Martin was also mentally strong after his defeat. Although dejected, he stayed back to answer questions and was even a part of the post-fight press conference.
I let my people down, but my head high, At the end of the day, I came out to be great, but I came up short. I got caught with a shot that I didn't see, one that came from underneath.
In his post-fight interview, Martin reflected on his performance against Tank Davis, expressing a mix of disappointment and determination. He began by acknowledging that he felt he let his supporters down, but kept his head high, recognizing his effort to achieve greatness despite coming up short. Martin highlighted a critical moment where he got caught by a shot he didn't see coming, which significantly impacted the fight's outcome. He thanked everyone involved in the event, particularly mentioning his promoter Errol Spence and TGB Promotions, and assured his fans that he would come back stronger by reviewing the fight, improving, and growing as a boxer. Speaking of the fight, Martin explained that his performance began well, controlling the early rounds with effective movement and jabs. However, he noted a shift around the 5th or 6th round, attributing it to his tendency to get too comfortable on the ropes, a habit his trainer Derek had warned him about during training camp. This comfort on the ropes allowed Davis to capitalize on opportunities, a point Martin stressed as a critical mistake. Addressing Davis's power, Martin acknowledged it, but emphasized that Davis's true skill lay in his ability to land precise, powerful shots. Martin described Davis as a smart and sneaky fighter who knows how to deliver punches that can end a fight quickly. He admitted that to beat someone like Davis, a fighter needs to box intelligently and stay alert throughout the match, as Davis is adept at exploiting any momentary lapses. When asked about his experience handling the big event and crowd, Martin felt he managed the situation well, maintaining focus and not letting the audience distract him. He described his approach as tunnel vision once in the ring, concentrating solely on his opponent. Martin also praised Davis's boxing skills, noting his ability to set traps and adapt to different styles. He mentioned that the trap Davis set, which led to the decisive punch, was one they had anticipated but fell into due to his comfort on the ropes. Martin emphasized Davis's versatility and adaptability in the ring, acknowledging him as a slick and experienced fighter.
I was on the ropes too much. I had started just chilling on the ropes too much, bouncing off of them and stuff.
Okay, and quick follow-up. A lot's been made about Tank's power. How was his power to you? Was it really like devastating power?
He got power.
It seems like Martin learned a lot by fighting Tank in his first high-profile fight. The combined lack of experience and errors during the fight led to Frank Martin's defeat. He already gained plenty of experience from the fight. However, he will have to work hard on his mistakes if he's interested in making a comeback. But what did Martin say about making a return to the ring? In another interview, Martin discussed his immediate plans and future aspirations after this bout. Martin acknowledged the grueling nature of the fight and expressed his intention to take some time off for a much-needed vacation. He mentioned his desire to relax, enjoy some barbecue in Dallas, and spend time recuperating. This break, according to Martin, is essential for him to process his first professional loss and to clear his mind before focusing on his return to the ring. Martin's approach to his time off is not just about rest. It is also a period for reflection and analysis. He emphasized the importance of reviewing the fight footage to understand his mistakes and identify areas for improvement. Martin plans to dissect what went wrong, what he could have done better, and where he can grow from this experience. This self-assessment is a crucial part of his strategy to come back stronger and better prepared for future fights.
I probably lost some fans, it is what it is. I'm gonna keep going, I'm gonna come back, get better, and just keep going.
I'm gonna counter that, Frank. I'll be honest. I think you gained more fans because when I was sitting there and talking to the crowd, they were like, man.
Regarding his return to the ring, Martin did not have a specific opponent in mind. He stated that his primary focus right now is on personal growth and learning from his recent bout. The loss against Davis was a significant moment in his career, and Martin intends to take the lessons from this fight seriously. He emphasized the need to handle his first loss properly, understand his performance, and use that understanding to fuel his comeback. Martin's coach, Derek James, also weighed in, reinforcing the idea of learning from the loss. James mentioned that Martin needs to avoid getting too comfortable on the ropes, a mistake that proved costly in the fight against Davis. He highlighted the importance of staying active and sharp, even when defending, to prevent opponents from exploiting such moments of vulnerability. The discussion extended to Davis's skills, with Martin acknowledging Davis's ability to set traps and his punching power. Martin once again admitted that he got caught in one of Davis's traps, which was a scenario they had anticipated but failed to avoid during the fight. This recognition of Davis's strategic prowess further underscores Martin's commitment to improving his defensive strategies and overall boxing intelligence. Sean Porter and Errol Spence recently did a podcast interview where both shared their thoughts on Davis and Martin, providing insights into their perspectives on both fighters. Errol Spence emphasized the importance of staying focused, especially given that this was Frank's first time on such a big stage. Spence acknowledged Tank Davis's experience and mental games, advising Martin to maintain his composure amidst Davis's attempts to get into his head. He pointed out that every great fighter faces a moment where they need to overcome such psychological battles to prove their greatness.
That's why.
Yeah.
You said we'll bounce back?
Yeah, you think we'll bounce back after the 3-1?
I mean, nobody ever done it before, but, it's always the first time for everything. I don't know, we're going to bounce.
Spence described Martin as a talented and skilled fighter, particularly noting his growth under the training of Derek James. Initially, Martin relied heavily on his raw athleticism, but under James, he became more strategic and thoughtful in his approach. Spence expressed confidence in Martin's abilities, but also highlighted that the true test would be whether Martin could handle the pressure of the bright lights and the big stage. He encouraged Martin to have a dogged mentality, emphasizing that it ultimately depends on Martin himself to either rise to the occasion or succumb to the pressure. Sean Porter also praised Frank Martin for his talent and determination. He agreed with Spence about the challenges Martin faced and the mental toughness required to compete at the highest level. Porter appreciated Martin's willingness to fight and his ability to stay composed despite the psychological tactics employed by Tank Davis. Both Spence and Porter acknowledged Tank Davis's prowess and strategic acumen in the ring. Spence highlighted Davis's ability to set traps and his knack for breaking down opponents mentally and physically. He noted that Davis has been in high-stakes situations multiple times, giving him an edge in terms of experience and composure. Spence also pointed out that Davis's team, including Leonard Ellerby, focused on the mental aspect of the fight, reminding everyone of Davis's extensive experience and trying to undermine Martin's confidence. Spence emphasized to Martin that overcoming this mental challenge was crucial for his growth and success as a boxer. The conversation also delved into Spence and Porter's reflections on their own experiences, particularly their memorable fight on September 28, 2019. Both fighters acknowledged the intensity and quality of their bout, with Spence describing Porter as a relentless competitor who fights to the death. Porter, in turn, admitted that he had to pull out all the stops to compete with Spence, recognizing the challenge he posed.
I know Tank been at this stage, 100 times, and this first time Frank been at this stage. So Tank doing his antics and doing different things, just to get in his head and just to show him, oh, I'm the big dog, I do.
Spence shared that after their fight, he understood the significance of facing a top-tier opponent like Porter, emphasizing the importance of mental toughness and resilience. This theme of mental fortitude was a recurring point in their discussion about Martin and Davis, highlighting how crucial it is for fighters to stay focused and composed under pressure. Frank Martin now needs a confidence boost if he wishes to make a strong comeback. That involves going back to the drawing board, analyzing his mistakes, and correcting them in future fights. Frank Martin, despite his considerable talent and athleticism, needs to fight more frequently to gain the necessary experience and build his confidence in the ring. After his recent bout, it is clear that while Martin possesses raw potential, he requires more refined skills and tactical knowledge to compete at the highest levels. This development can only come through consistent training and increased fight activity. To enhance his abilities, Martin must dedicate himself to harder training and mastering the essentials of boxing. This includes honing his defensive techniques, improving his ring generalship, and developing a more strategic approach to his fights. By focusing on these fundamentals, he can address any gaps in his skill set and become a more complete fighter. Before stepping back into the ring against top-tier opponents, Martin should aim to have 4 to 5 more fights against mid-tier boxers in the lightweight division. These matches will provide him with the opportunity to test new strategies, gain valuable ring experience, and build his confidence progressively. Facing mid-tier opponents will allow Martin to experience a variety of styles and challenges without the immediate pressure of top competition, enabling him to grow and adapt effectively. By taking this measured approach, Martin can gradually build his reputation and skill level. Each fight will serve as a stepping stone, preparing him for the inevitable challenges posed by top contenders. With this strategy, Frank Martin can ensure that when he finally faces elite opponents, he will do so with the confidence, experience, and skill set necessary to compete and succeed at the highest levels of the sport. But what are your thoughts on Frank Martin making a comeback? Will he return to the boxing ring? If so, who should he fight next? Let us know in the comments. That's it for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Turn on the bell for the latest notifications so that you never miss out on videos like this. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.